You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. With an ass back, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab. I'm mad when it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Goddard.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A handoff to Spiller to begin the drive. Space to maneuver at the 40. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
This a quick pass to Davis. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On first down, Norman. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now. They will find Davis. That's complete. Past the there he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Corey Davis, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Jason Sanders now for the extra point, and that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it, to throw it underneath a short pass like that? But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go!
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Let's go, D. Watch out, watch out.
Now Spiller. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They're connecting here with DJ Shark. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Spiller. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down at the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Shit! Watch the shit! 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 Kill! Hey, turn it up! Let's go! Run to the ball!
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw is Jackson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll set up to throw. And that's caught by Smith.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw here. This will be caught by Brown. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Here's Spiller. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this 1st half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run with Spiller. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on from the right hash. This from 45 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive. But they stiffened when they got close to the goal line. Made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just fight.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Check 55, Mike. I got you. I got you.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too with the day he's had. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's some momentum for them to take into halftime.
Yeah, and it might not be that wild momentum, that you see sometimes where they score late.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll have a first down past the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody to run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. Flushed out right. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll give to Spiller. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hold now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On second down, it's Coleman. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Let's get off the field, D.
They'll run on first down. It's Norman, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw here. On the screen, this is Coleman. Busts through the tackle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards there, a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now back to throw. This is Coleman with a grab. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Adam Humphries. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. And that score there makes this a much more manageable deficit.
Agreed, because before that touchdown, this looked like this was about over. Instead, they've got hope. They're back in the game. They feel better about themselves, and now they have a chance to make some more plays.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a handoff here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, they run it with Spiller. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Tack McKinley able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Now the Titans getting set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
2nd and 2. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. Here's Jackson, and this one's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Check out.
They'll run for it with Spiller. Room here to run. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there. 28 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. So the Jags will keep the offense out there as they'll decide to go for 2. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number?
And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 30, the 20, 10, touchdown Titans. Jonnu Smith, 78 yards. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, then you stop that clock. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again on the ground, again it's Spiller. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And now they're in the hurry-up. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, raking the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's Jackson to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
Well, I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Miles Jack with a sack. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be taken down.